But if I were to give advice to new comics, it would be, sure, go to Edinburgh and do a split bill. The first year you go should just be as a punter, maybe doing a couple of gigs. And then the next year, when you're applying for spaces, someone says, I'm going to offer you this Laughing Horse time slot space, or I'm going to offer you this Pleasance. And you know what they're talking about because you're like, oh, that's where I saw that guy. Or, oh, yeah, I know where that is. That's way out of town. Or, it just gives you an idea of this big beast that Edinburgh is. So there are benefits to just throwing yourself in there, but I guess it's hard to quantify exactly what it is, but it's a lot of work to write a 1 hour show. But for some people, that's just what they need to do. But for most people, I think you're better off slowly building it up.
How much? But so, did you do it like a year in advance? The show that you got an award from Amuse Moose, or was it even longer than that?
So part of the show, I kind of talk. The show is kind of biographical, so it's actually kind of true. So like, I did a show in 2019 called Crazy Cat Laddie, and while I was up there, there's this sort of trend for doing like one man Star Wars and one man Game of Thrones and one man Breaking Bad, as it was those popular shows those few years ago. And I thought I'd love to do a one man Jurassic Park, and I would use the audience and do interaction stuff, but we'd do the movie Jurassic Park. And then I had a baby in 2020 and the world shut down, pandemics and everything else. And so I put it back and I never really did any more work on it other than I'd like to write a show that had a baby. And then so in 2021, I started writing a show that I was going to then take to Edinburgh. And then that got put back. So I did a tiny bit of work on it. And then it was only this year or at the end of last year that I was like, okay, I need to do this show. So it had sort of been in the making for a few years, but in terms of actually working on it, that didn't really start until January this year.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I really sat down, but I'm sort of thinking about what my next show is. Right now, we're sort of end of September recording this, and I'm already thinking to myself, okay, but my last show, like I said, I started writing it in January, but this time last year, I kind of knew what the show I was going to be writing was. So even though I hadn't actually sat down and started writing it, I'd been thinking about it. It had been mulling over in my mind. And now I'm like, right, I'm going to write a new show. And I've got loads of ideas, but I don't specifically know what that is. So it's a weird thing when you start writing a show